Fail fast, fail hard. If only more of the clients that eventually ended up in our client portfolio would have lived by that rule, then they would have saved a lot of money and they would have prevented a lot of heartache. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning into another video. Fail fast, fail hard. If you have been in a startup environment, if you've worked with or for a startup, chances are you've come across that particular term. It is essentially what it means is you go out into the marketplace hard and fast with a particular product, a version of your product, a particular business setup or a service constellation, configuration if you want. And your purpose is to get ruthless, rapid feedback from the market to figure out whether or not what you have in mind and what you have created has any legs, has any true scalability potential. This idea here is to get market intel rapidly so that you can pivot, change, or perhaps pull the plug on what it is that you're trying to do in its entirety. So what you typically will tend to see is if we look at a spectrum of business types with on the one hand, on the one side, venture-backed businesses, venture-backed startups, and on the other side of the spectrum, bootstrapped, self-funded startups. You'll see that the venture-backed companies tend to throw money at it, throw money and resources at it because obviously they have it, and it allows them to move really fast. It allows them to kind of live by this methodology. Whilst on the other side of the spectrum, the self-funded businesses tend to be a lot more cautious, timid, careful, slowly with that approach because of course every move matters, every minor investment even is a important decision. These types of clients, the bootstrap clients, are the clients that we work with at our agency. We specifically focus and exclusively focus on working with those types of companies. What we typically tend to see is that they are overly cautious. They go overboard with that, level of being timid, cautious, that what we typically end up seeing is sometimes you come across businesses that would have been around for about 2 to 3 years and they kind of get by with like 2, 3, 4 clients that kind of came through their network that keep the lights on, essentially allow them to keep trading. But it's kind of just not really going anywhere. And they also don't know whether it really has the opportunity or has any potential to really be going anywhere because they haven't really done any what we call so-called validation exercises. Now, one can argue that simply, if we go back to this side of the spectrum, throwing money at it kind of blindly, and of course I'm exaggerating a little bit with the venture-backed companies, is also not really a way to go about it. You probably want to be a little bit more deliberate. You want to analyze it a little bit, and you want to make sure that you allocate your funds where you believe it will have or it will deliver the biggest bang for your buck. Yet on the other side, we can then, like I said, be overly cautious as well. I think the ideal approach is somewhere in the middle. What is absolutely crystal clear is that if you're running your business in bootstrap mode, you have to run those validation exercises in that fail fast, fail hard type of an approach, being lean. You don't need massive amounts of money and resources to be able to do that. There are other ways that you can go about rapidly testing what it is that you need to test and rapidly trying to figure out whether the business that you have at this moment in time has any real potential for scalability. If that's the thing that you're really after, that's another debate. But if you want to figure that out, you will have to approach, in part, large elements of that fail fast, fail hard methodology. Now, I want to make one thing very clear here in that when we're talking about validating, failing fast, failing hard, what I'm not talking about here is market feedback. We're not looking to go out into the marketplace and ask them a list of questions, because what you'll typically find is that when you go out and you sit down with people and you ask them, hey, can I just ask you a couple of questions about a business idea or about the business that I'm running? People say, yeah, sure, go ahead. And you just ask them a particular round of questions. There's a big chance that a lot of people are going to give you the answers that they think you want to hear. Now, that's obviously not ideal for the type of exercise that you are running. So it is vital that when you do run these exercises, you do it from a commercial standpoint. Essentially what that means is you try and sell to them, because when you ask people for their money, that's when the truth comes out, that's when the rubber hits the road, and you're going to have the harsh, brutal feedback that you are looking for. It is essentially, do you want to buy what I am presenting to you? In some way, shape, or form, that's what you have to get to, because that's what will really give you the data and the intelligence that you actually need to be able to make decisions. And so it is also therefore perfectly possible that you can go out into the market with nothing more than an idea, a concept for either a brand new business or a business line or the vision that you are considering. You can actually go out with just that concept and act as if it is ready and as if you really truly have something to sell, and you try and go out into the market and you try and see if people are willing to sit down with you about that concept. But when you're going out into the market, it has to be clear that they believe it is, with the opportunity of actually looking at this with the final objective of potentially being able to purchase it. So essentially what you can do is you can go out, you can prospect, you can lead generate with a concept that you're presenting as if it's a product or a service or a business that is ready to be, marketed and sold, essentially. That would allow you to get feedback on whether or not you can get early initial traction without having done any form of investment into the product creation, the service creation. And so in the work that we do with our clients, when they do eventually come to us with, in that situation where they've been around for maybe 2 or 3 years in bootstrap mode, they don't really know what to do, they don't really know whether it has any real potential, that's always what we recommend. We say, look, we got to go hard, we got to go fast, and if we're going to have to fail, we're going to want to do it hard and fast, because we need to know where we stand, and we need to know whether this makes any sense to continue with this. So we will essentially aggressively go out into the marketplace, sell hard and fast, or at least try and sell hard and fast to get that feedback early on. Now, again, I want to come back to the point that you don't need to throw massive amounts of resources at this, and specifically in this day and age with the automation, workflow, process tools, AI as well at your disposal. You can do this pretty much on autopilot, but what you will need to have is a very clear understanding of the concept that you are trying to present to the market. What is the value shift that you bring? What is a problem that you solve, and how does solving that problem make the world a better place for your potential market? Also, you need to know who and what your potential market is. Once you know that, you can put that into a variety and sequence of tools to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you and rapidly test, sometimes multiple things at the same time, to get that market intelligence. So if you are the leader or the founder of a bootstrapped business that sells in a high-ticket B2B environment, you really truly have to get down to brass tacks, and you have to get into the weeds, into the trenches. You have to go out into the market and you have to try and sell something to them, and you have to do it hard and fast with substantial data to really truly know whether what you have has any potential of moving forward. So that's that for this video. Fail fast, fail hard. Try and adopt that methodology whenever you are considering new concepts, or when you really want to figure out whether the concept that you've been working on for a few years really does have the potential, or whether you should potentially pull the plug on it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you found it interesting, then a thumbs up would be massively appreciated. Check out some of the other videos I have done on the channel. If you like them as well, perhaps consider subscribing to stay tuned whenever I release a new video. I try and release one each week, but sometimes work gets in the middle a little bit. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your time. Stay productive today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.